Hello everybody and welcome to a new Let's Play of Doom 2 with your host Invalid. We're going to be playing the second game in the entire series finally after how many years of playing the first one and Doom 64? I don't know. Doesn't matter, but as you can hear, the soundtrack for this is actually different from what you're used to hearing. And there's a good reason for that. This is actually using the GZ Doom port. I would have played it in Doom 95, except that I'm using a Windows 10 laptop while playing this, and therefore Doom 95 works, but there's a lot of fixes for it, and even then, after like 20 minutes, the screen gets all weird, or the game gets all weird. So I'm going with GZ Doom instead, with a bunch of filter changes, and I do have mouse enabled, but as you can tell, I only have the setup for turning left and right, not for actually looking up and down and all around. If I was playing some custom maps, I might, but we're not playing custom maps. We're playing the original Doom 2. So really quick, I'm just kind of showing off the options in case you're curious as to what my settings are to get this same look. And right here is what I wanted to point out with the sound. We are using MIDI device OPL synth emulation. I found that setting and I started messing around with it and I listened to the soundtrack and oh my god, I love it so much. I love that OPL. I love me some OPL, man. She's just showing off the rest of my stuff. You can pause if you're curious about it, but I'm not going to spend too much more time on it. We are going to be playing this in 1280 by 720 because HD is wonderful. And since we've gotten over all that tech crap, we can now go into the game on ultra violence, starting with the very first level, the entryway. Alright. So normally what GZ Doom does is it has this really interesting kind of anti-aliasing filter that most of you will probably not recognize in this game. Because I did mess around with the settings so I could get this similar look to what the original game looked like, which was 8-bit without all of the extra cool little filters and stuff. Just in case there's any confusion. Whoa. I personally prefer this look of the old school kind of 8-bit visuals. Ow! Dude, these pistol guys are like... Ow! These regular zombies are, like, the weakest enemies around, but, their weapons still hurt. They still pack a punch. And, really quick, what I did there was there were actually two buttons, as you saw. This one opens that little area over there, and this one lowers these platforms that the zombies were standing on, the zombie guys. And this is actually a secret. Funny thing, though, in the Doom engine, hitting or switches that are hidden below ground are actually still accessible, unless you have certain flags in place to prevent that. So if I had lowered this first, if I had lowered these platforms first, I could still hit this button and open that over there. So if something like that happens, never fear. You are well off regardless. In case you missed a switch somewhere. So next thing I'm going to do is climb up here. Open this up and say hi to 3 imps in the middle of this little random pocket. And that gave us access to 2 secrets. First there's a switch back there, which opened up this door right here. And then we hopped over this platform right here. And I'll show off what that does in a minute. Hello. Oh, and that secret revealed thing, that is a GZ Doom special kind of thing. And I have no idea how to turn that off, otherwise I would. But you know, it's nice to know when you find secrets. And also, the auto map is a little bit different thanks to Z Doom and the GZ Doom child port, I guess I could call it. I'm not going to hit that button yet because that's actually the exit, as you might have seen. And this is what hopping over that one platform did. It opened up a little area with health pots. Health pots, oh my gosh, I've been watching too much Smite. with health drops and a rocket launcher. And I don't know when we actually get the rocket launcher by default in-game. I think that's like level 5 or something. It's a ways down the road from here. But oh my gosh, just listen to that soundtrack. Oh, I love it. And that is the end of the first level entryway. Alright, now that we are in the Underhalls, I can talk a little bit more about some fun more trivia facts about the Doom games and the engine that supported the original 2. Ow! Ow! And right here is a good comparison. The Doom 2 actually went through a lot of iterations, and none of them are bug-free. None of them are bug-free. Which, not a huge surprise. I mean, what game is bug-free? But originally, in the initial release of Doom 2, there were actually white bars in front of this former sergeant right here that you had to use and lower. They since removed that in all succeeding versions and put a little line here that prevents the former human or former sergeant from stepping outside that little area, so he doesn't chase you down and ow, do that. Because those sergeants hurt, man. They them shotguns, they do stuff. Oh, hello. There's a lot of them on this level. Holy crap. Ow. Ow. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're good, we're good. I'm not going to grab that red key just yet. Oh, jeez. Oops. Okay. Well, that could have gone way worse than it did. Okay, then. Ooh, alright. So, one of the other things... Yeah, so, one of the funny things about a lot of the Doom maps... let's see, I have a master list right here. Let's not have that chainsaw out, because that sound is annoying. It's so nice to have a smartphone, because then I can look these things up on the go. Okay, let's see. Okay. Just a sec. I'll be editing this pause out in the in the final video, by the way, because this is taking way too long. Actually, you know what? Because I'm using Bandicam, I can just pause the recording. Okay, so after some perusing of my master list of map changes throughout the versions, can't quite see it from here, so we can talk about that later. But both the first and second missions were moved to move them closer to the origin 00 point on the Doom editor thingy-majig. For anyone who's actually edited a Doom map, you know what that looks like. Ow! I'm trying to do tech talk here, guys. Stop. Oh, and another difference between Doom 1 and Doom 2, they added the super shotgun. This is a super powerful weapon that does, you know, with a regular shotgun, how it has this little kind of line with where the pellets go? The super shotgun uses 2 shells, but... oh, it's delicious. And it does a crap ton of damage. So let's grab this red key. Oh, I didn't realize you could actually grab the red key without triggering that. Cool. Yeah, super shotgun is really powerful. It kind of... the shotgun still has its uses, the regular one, but it loses a lot of its purpose that the original one had, and the super shotgun kind of replaces that. Where it's just kind of your all-around bread and butter weapon. that's a health kit. I don't need that. Okay, well, I guess we're done for that. Now that we have a red key... Oh, I never actually killed you, did... Ow! My face! Never actually killed that guy. Oh, well. So yeah, they move the maps around. With the Doom engine, it actually doesn't... This whole 3D thing, this whole 3D effect, that's actually a hack in this particular engine. This entire game is basically a hacked engine from what we would normally see as a 2D kind of top-down thing. Hence the auto map, and why it works so well, because it's redrawing the map in the exact same way. This is what you would be seeing in the editor. You'd just be seeing a whole bunch of lines with different things. Which is somewhat of a pun if you know the editor, you know what I'm talking about. But with that map shift, well, you don't move the map itself and the monsters and other things in it simultaneously, so we end up with stuff like this. A shotgun guy stuck in the wall. And barrels. So yeah, it's there's some amusing things that they never actually got around to fixing. And I apologize if you guys can't see what's down there. I can't either, so don't worry about it too much. Ow, my face. But like seriously, how could you miss that? This game sometimes. Yeah, this game is far from perfect, to say the least. But it's a really fun, just shmup kind of thing. First-person shmup. And there is a story behind it all, technically. But oh bloody hell! In a game like this, who really cares about story? And this is another thing. They never actually fixed the health bonuses either, so it's all sideways and stuff. Looks really strange. Nope. Ow, I was hoping to keep that health, thank you. Oh well. There should be a stim pack I haven't used around here somewhere, right? I would think. Should be a medikit at least, right? Like in here? Yeah, here we go. Way more health than I need. But as you can see, that doesn't always mean much. Okay, so now we can go for, I think it's the only secret. Yeah, it's the only secret in this level. Ta-da! And they actually, with the textures, the top and bottom, the floor and ceiling textures, those actually line up with there's a grid for the map editing, right? So when you move, those flats, they're called flats, by the way. Those floor and ceiling textures match up with the grid, and they don't move when you move the map, unless you specifically set certain properties for them. So it's kind of amusing when. So with that knowledge, what do you think else happened when they moved the maps? Yeah, the floor and ceiling stuff got unaligned or misaligned. So that teleporter over there, they actually had to move this map twice. I think this is like version 1.9 or something that was like the final revision, which is obviously not perfect, as you could tell. But yeah, it's that they had to move some stuff so the textures were realigned and didn't look all funky. So with that, we have a super shotgun now. We talked over some bugs or mistakes in the making of this game, and now we're going to move on to the next level. We're done with underhauls, and now we're going to be entering the Gauntlet. I like this music with the OPL. It's so spoopy. That okay. I think the imp just killed the former sergeant there. Oh. Alright then. Ow. Not fair. Okay, so we could go up there. One of the things with the GZ Doom port is that it actually doesn't just, well, GZ Doom and Z Doom. A lot of the engines that were made kind of based on, based on the Doom engine that was later used in games like Hexen, Strife. There's several games that use this engine as well. But a lot of the ports now support those games as well, so in order to do that, because in Hexen you could actually jump, that's something that you can do in Doom as well, even though you were never actually meant to do that in this game. So I have that put onto a button that's entirely different. And a new enemy type, who just opened fire right now and is trying to kill me. They are chain gunners, and they were not present in the first game. Ow! Whoa. And they are... The sergeants are bad. These guys are deadly. Especially, ooh, at close range. The maximum health and armor that you can have in this game is 200 and 200, respectively. Up close, if they hit every single shot, I mean, every shot normally doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's a little bit like the pistol guys. But every hit hits fast. I mean, it's a chain gun, right? So of course it's going to be shooting fast. But, as you can imagine, because of that, they will shred you. Oh, hello. That's another thing that they brought back, Spectres. And in GZ... Ow! Where'd you guys come from? Oh, you're over there. Okay. Wow, that hurt. Huh? Oh. How'd you get over there? I am not being conservative with my ammo. Not being liberal with it, but I'm not being conservative either. Okay, I think that's everybody. Yeah. Except for these guys. Oh, and you. I will happily take your chain gun ammo. Whew, okay. That was getting a bit rough, and it's only the third level. And yeah, if you haven't picked up on that already, Doom 2 is way harder than Doom 1 was. And it's not just weapons, it's not just the enemies either, it's level design in general. Need to hit this switch real quick. That will raise a platform, and there's actually a teleporter over there, but I think that only just kind of... Oh, where does that take me? I don't remember. Oh, it takes you back up here. Okay. Cool. That's a-okay. I'm not going to go there quite yet, because we have a Mega Armor we can pick up. And this will take us somewhere else. We just got a backpack. And you know what that means? We now have double the ammunition limit. So now we, instead of 200, we have 400 bullets full, and total bullets that we can collect. 100 shells instead of 50. 100 rockets instead of 50. And then 600 cell energy, whatever, instead of 300. And that's very useful as we go through the game. I guess it's not technically a secret, but it certainly feels... What are you doing? Doom AI for you right there. Not the most solid. So, something else to talk about with GZ Doom specifically, the default for these Spectres is actually a kind of weird... It just makes them translucent. You can kind of see through the Spectres, but they're really visible compared to what they looked like in the original Doom 2 and Doom 1, where it was more of this kind of silhouette with all these little pixels flying everywhere. And And that wasn't recently added until, like, later in GZ Doom's development. Z Doom does that perfectly fine. It does the original look for the Spectres. But GZ Doom doesn't do that. There's actually certain shader elements to it that need to be done. Since we have a rocket launcher, we can just do that and clear them out real quick. Rocket's OP. Until I fire them on myself, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's why this wasn't nerfed. Oh god, I've been watching way too much competitive games. Ow! You're lying. You're supposed to be stunned during that. I call BS. Let's go ahead and pick up some of these clips and extra shotguns. So that's every single monster killed on this level, but yeah, we're gonna try to go for it. And since we can't jump, oh wow, first try on camera, I am so proud of myself. Yeah, we got partial invisibilities again, which I don't really care for in this game, because one of your biggest assets is actually circle strafing or dodging. And the partial invisibility kind of renders that moot, because it makes instead of every single projectile from enemies going directly towards where you're standing, they go off in random directions. So it's really not useful, in my eyes, for the most part. Okay, so now we're on the 4th level. I don't know, I'm kind of out of words to say. So, with that, I guess we'll just leave it off here. I don't know how long we've been recording, probably like 20 minutes or something. It said it in the bottom left, on the end screen. So, until the next one, guys, hope you've been enjoying this first video of Doom 2, and in the next one, we are going to go through this door and talk more about Doom 2 and goofing around and getting shot up by monsters and whatnot and getting chewed on by demons and all other sorts of crap. So until then, have a wonderful day, you guys, and take care. Bye for now.